shouldn't be too late, she's not late.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful Lord's Day. We thank you for the blessings of life, Lord, that you bestowed upon us. And Lord, we just ask you today, just to go to lead, God, and direct us during this meeting, that we perform our duties here with the town of Bronson. And may everything we do be pleasing in your eyes. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank everyone for coming out tonight. Roll call. Curtis is here. Lindy is here. Sue is here. Tyler is here. Everyone, please keep Franklin in your prayers. He's still having some issues, I understand, with his feet and everything. We just want to keep him. And another thing, while I've got it on my mind, is Miss Frida Freeman's family. Please keep them in your prayers too. Miss Frida passed away yesterday. And she has been a loyal supporter of Bronson for many years, working diligently in the voting precincts, and she will definitely be missed. So please keep them in your prayers also. So moving on, Tyler's here again. Franklin is not going to be here, I'm assuming, correct?
I am doing
Okay. I'm here, Miss Virginia's here. Sherry is on her way, she's running a little bit late, and Mr. Warren is here with us tonight. Glad to have you, sir. Glad to be here. Also, Mr. Gale is here, and we have our newest employee here with us tonight. Also, you want to stand up and introduce yourself to everybody, and especially to this one right here. Right here. You see it back here.
Yeah, everyone, I'm Rodney Thomas. I'm a Bronson, from Bronson. I've been here all my life. I spent some time in the military, moved up 7 different places, but this has been home for me. So yeah, I'm here, trying out this other position. So far, everything is going good. You know, I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to it. So.
Sounds great. Rodney, it was good to have you with us today. Rodney is going to be taking over the inmate.
Yes, inmate work group.
So, with that being said, all right, have you had a chance to look over the agenda?
I second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. And minutes for the November 20th town council
I
meeting.
move to approve the minutes for the November 20th town council meeting.
Second.
Again, been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same motion carries. Public participation. I'm going to go over this again, make everybody knows it. You need to complete the speaker request form and submit it to the deputy clerk. Approach the podium, speak clearly, state your full name and address for the record. Comments will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Okay, next information item, since we did not have anybody sign up tonight, so, okay. Informational items, our next town council meeting will be December the 18th here at 6 p.m. Any discussion on that? And the town hall will be closed Monday, December the 25th, and Tuesday, December the 26th, so we can be with our families to celebrate Christmas. And that's,
And in front of the fruit of the mighty.
oh yes, excuse me, that came in late, okay. The mobile pantry food distribution will be December the 22nd. That's the Friday before Christmas at 9:30 a.m. or when they get ready. And they put a notation in here. I think they have been having, the lines have been so long that they, because of the people living down there, it's kind of having some problems. So they asked people to please after the parking lot is, and lines open 1 hour before the start time. So in other words, don't go down there day before and get in line. Or we may have to ask you to leave and come back later on. And they're going to try to enforce that pretty strictly. So please do not get there before 8:30. And if you pass that on to all the other people, you don't mind. So, all right, Ms. Sue.
All right, light agenda tonight. So first up, I have reappointment. Thank goodness she's here, because I didn't actually have a chance to talk to her about it. But Ms. B, well, as you guys know, for the audience, we formed a code enforcement board in the town of Bronson in December of 2021. Ms. Beatrice Roberts was appointed at that point on December 6th of 2021 to a one-year term, and she was reappointed December 5th of 2022 to another one-year term, and we need her to go on for another one-year term effective tonight, unless she's opposed to it for some reason.
Okay.
I don't even think we've met all year, but it's on my agenda, I promise.
It should be a motion, though.
Yeah, we're fixing to do that.
Move approval of the appointment of Beatrice Roberts for a one-year term on the Code Enforcement Board.
I second.
Properly moved and seconded. Again, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same motion carries. Welcome back.
And then same thing with David White. David White had a 2-year appointment, so he was appointed on December 6th of 2021, so we need to reappoint him to another 2-year term effective today.
Move approval of David White for a 2-year term on the Code Enforcement Board.
I second.
Again, properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same motion carries. You should come to the meeting, David.
All right, so next up, I'm going to give you a little, just so ABM doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting here. So we've been going back and forth, myself and Curtis, with Vic Hill and Ray Jordan of ABM for, I don't know, it feels like forever, but definitely several months now, to kind of pare down what we originally wanted to do for the town. Unfortunately, the project got very bloated. I mean, while I would love to do everything that we originally proposed, the price tag was well over $2 million at one point, and I didn't want to saddle the 20-year from now board with that kind of fund request. So the last time we met, I asked them to basically pare this entire program down to just the replacement of the commercial water meters and a brand new billing system. So we would have the residential water meters would all be replaced on the CDBG grant. The commercial water meters would be replaced by ABM. We would get a brand new billing system that allows for, automatic payment plans and things like that. And I also basically asked them to have a self-funding project where basically this project is entirely funded by the savings or the revenue from the commercial meters or the residential meters that they changed when Encore came in and did the testing back in January. So that's where we're at today, but it has taken a long time to get here. So I'm going to let Vic take it from here.
Well, you pretty much covered everything. Thank you. I would like to say thank you, and you did cover almost everything that we have. You have a presentation or a PowerPoint. I do want to say I have Ray Jordan with me. He is the Southeast Region Director, and he will help us as we go through this. And I will try to be brief, but I will say this. Please stop me and ask questions, or Ray, if he's talking, please ask questions. As Sue said, when we first began, there was a great deal of stuff that we were looking at. We have pared it down, working with Sue and Curtis, and I take my hat off to both of them. They are diligent. They've been unbelievably cordial to us, and together I think it's a plan that we finally came out and co-authored together. And I think it would be beneficial to the town of Bronson. I love the small town atmosphere. I'm from a small town also, much smaller actually than Bronson. So I love the small town atmosphere. So thank y'all for allowing us to be here. And just we'll talk through as we move forward. I'm looking at this third page, and I'm actually going through it. As Sue said, we looked at a host of things, but we settled on looking at the replacement of the commercial water meters. And the last statement at the very bottom of that page, we were adamant that we wanted to find a project that was self-funding. then through the revenues that will be generated, so that for the process, there will be no upfront money from the town of Bronson. There will be no money paid until after a year after construction is complete to allow the revenue to be generated. So it's and we'll talk through that process in just a few minutes. But we did want to look at the replacement of the water meters. Where we are as the next step is just wanted to present to you. I was here several months ago, and if you will remember, we had a whole host of things that we discussed, and we were looking at, and we did look at, and I know that there are some needs, but at the same time, you've got to be realistic and look at what is most critical and most crucial, and what is that could fund itself and provide a benefit to the town. So that's kind of where we focused on the commercial water meters. We did have an independent party come in, their NIST, and I looked that up because I always forget that acronym, National Institute of something in technology, I can't remember, I'm sorry. But anyway, it was a third party to test the meters. So we did a random sampling, and it was proven, shown that the meters were approximately 75% accurate, the water meters. And we tested commercial and residential as well. So we had a good sampling of both of those. And I know that the grant will cover residential, but those were tested at the same rate as well. And Sue has seen some of that, we've got that information. But in ours is 127 3/4 inch, this is commercial, I'm sorry. 127 3/4 inch, 6 1 inch, 1 1.5 inch, 28 2 inch, and 2 4 inch, which makes up the commercial meters that we're talking about in this project. What we would do is replace the meters, and we will guarantee a 99% accuracy over the course of the term. Where we are tonight is just to present to you that, tell you that we've looked at the commercial meters. We've talked with Sue, and I think we'll have a little bit more discussion between Sue and the attorney, because I want both of them to feel extremely comfortable about presenting to you a resolution that allows Sue, on behalf of the town, to enter into an agreement with us so that we can begin to lock down financing. We talk with we don't finance, but we work with finance companies all over the country to try to get the best rates, and ones that do this on a regular basis. That resolution allows us, it enters into the contract, but allows us to enter into discussion on behalf of the town with Sue to try to get the financing that we would have to have. We can't lock down interest rates till we get to that point, so we've got some speculative, and we're usually relatively accurate, but you know how the market is. I pray that it goes down, but we can't lock it in with 100% certainty until after that. And I understand y'all are getting on the 18th, so hopefully by then, so that we could come back with a resolution. And I will be here, although I'm going to go ahead and tell you that is my 41st wedding anniversary.
Good for you.
So, but if we're meeting, I'll be here.
May as well bring your wife.
Pardon?
May as well bring your wife.
I might do that. That's not a bad thought. But as we move forward, kind of a general on this page is the one I'm looking at, is kind of a general outline. Tonight we're presenting in January, February, really now we're looking at December. We're getting approval, then we will go into the financial aspect. Sue will be as actively involved in that to iron that down. You would have to approve that also. So there are two things to approve. One would be the resolution. Second one would come later, would be the financing part of that. Then we would simply start working on the project, and ballpark, these dates, we've got March or April, we'll do the installation. So what we did on this pie chart is basically say with the energy savings, basically the operational savings and lost water revenue, we were able to provide the town, a self-funded project. This page is a 20-year cash flow, and Ray speaks this language better than I. So I would ask him to come for that with.
I'll tell you, it's good to be back in front of y'all. It's been a while. I was here when we started this process in 22, and then I got moved to Georgia, and then we did some rearranging, and I ended up getting Vic back. So it's a pleasure to be back in front of you tonight. We like to show, keep in mind that savings or revenue generation increases are guaranteed. So we're guaranteeing 99% water meter accuracy throughout the process. So we've also only captured the increased revenue that you will receive from the commercial meters. So good news is your savings or increased revenue are going to go up significantly when you install the residential, because you'll have very similar savings or even more savings from the residential install. So the blue boxes are where money comes from to pay for your meters. The first blue column is utility operations, maintenance, and debt wrap. So in your case, it's very little operational savings, a little gasoline, a little wear and tear on cars and vehicles, that kind of stuff. But the biggest part is that you have some software that you're paying for now that you won't have to pay for in the future. And so it's right at about 9,000 or more of that is software costs that you're currently spending that you won't have to pay for. The revenue contributors, that is the increased revenue that you see from the increased accuracy of your meters. And you'll notice that goes up. That goes up because of inflation. You also take into account the rate structure that you have and the increased rates that you recently put in place. So that middle column, third column, gives you the total amount. The total amount. And you notice the third and fourth are the same. So it is at the top, I should have started there, the total cost of the project, turnkey, is $686,701. Now that includes a $10,000 amount for the suit to contract with the software company for startup. She said, I need to get into it without any upfront costs. So her upfront cost to install the new software for billing and so forth is included in the amount of the project. We were able to get a 5.49. Hopefully, between now and the time we do the financing in January, that may come down a little bit. We're seeing some positive moves in the market there. It is a 20-year program. So that 20-year lease would cost you $44,002 in year one. I'm just using the year one number. You'll notice that it escalates just as your revenue escalates. That's intentional, so that your payment goes up as your revenue goes up. Otherwise, your payment would be slacking in year one, and you have a lot of money in the bank in year 20. So it escalates with your payment. Performance services, that's not money you're borrowing, not money you're saving. It's money you're going to have to spend, but Sue wanted it to be accounted for. That includes the annual upkeep of the billing software and the meter management software. So that's included in the cash flow, because y'all will pay that with a town of Bronson check, but you'll earn the money to pay it through the project. So as you see, the total annual cost is $56,052 in year one. The total money produced is $56,134 for an excess of $82, and that is maintained all the way down because everything escalates at the same rate. So today you can go into a fully new radio red. It's AMI, so it's automatically collected. You don't have to drive by, you don't have to read meters. The project does include a belt clip AMR reader in case the network is down. You can ride by and collect in case something happens to the network, but that's very rarely the case. But in any way, we started, as Vic mentioned, with all kinds of hopes and dreams for solar lights in a recreation department, for fixing some valves, and honestly, we could have done some of that self-funded as well. But this is where I'll also follow kudos to Miss Sue. She was very particular because she don't have that check to put in those residential meters yet. And she didn't want to commit any of that revenue and put y'all in a bind. So she's being very, very conservative with your finances. So there's the project as far as the way it's paid for, how much it costs, how you pay for it. No out-of-pocket money when the project begins, no out-of-pocket money when construction ends. You make your first payment to the lender at the end of a full year after construction. Any questions about the money?
Anybody got anything?
If I may, I'm not a voting member, obviously, I'm just the attorney, but I need to understand something. What is the very last column on the right? What does that signify?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The cumulative cash flow. How would you determine that?
It's the funding used for lease obligation minus the annual cost. It's the last column, last blue column minus the last white column. Take 56,134 and subtract 56,052 from it, that's 82.
Okay, so in other words, that's the positive cash intake
Yes.
of the municipality.
Yes.
Okay.
And we do believe that's conservative, because we tend to do that. We'd rather you put more money towards the bottom line than not enough.
And I will say, if you generate more, it doesn't come to us, it stays with the town, so.
All right, Sue, you and Curtis have been the workhorses in on this thing. Y'all got anything you want to contribute to this before we move on this?
Do you need a vote tonight, or do you want us to wait until we have the full resolution?
The actual,
Y'all.
yeah, it's up to you, the resolution is what we'll need to move forward financing, but if they're in agreement, then of course I can get the resolution and we can.
I'm working on the resolution, and I'm looking at the agreement in a little bit more detail. So if I may, and this is all very positive, I'm not nothing against you, defer it to the next meeting. I think we'll all be better prepared.
And I'll tell y'all, I'm gonna let Vic stay home at the next week with his wife.
No.
I know Miss Jane, I'll come in and explain. I'll come in and explain.
I promise you,
What we will do, even with just your verbal, nods that this looks good, we'll go on and make sure we get contracts started so we get final documents in the attorney's hands as far as the contract
So
itself.
that's right.
So basically now we just doing commercial meters, the one.
Correct.
1 and
Yeah.
27.
Correct, and that's a breakdown, is
Right, I'm sorry. The only question that I have, the thing that I have, that my concern is based on customer use, and it's almost like we hoping that we get this, but that they use more water, or the meters read more accurately, so we can have more income to pay for what we're getting. So again, to me, it's based on consumer use. If the consumer use go down, where's the revenue gonna come from?
And that is absolutely correct.
That's
But it's not
the
based
concern.
on, Chris, just to make sure, it's not based on increased use. It's based on current use.
Current use,
If
and
you keep using,
more
but that's,
accurate.
folks, that's natural. If you use less water, you're gonna bring in less money.
Right.
And we can't guarantee consumption.
But Curtis, I mean, think of it this way, these are the commercial meters, right? So you're talking about the school district, the jail, Dollar
But we don't
General.
have 120.
historically,
Not all of
the
those.
community does not use less water. They may be more conservative of the water they use, but historically, they did not use less water, and particularly in the commercial arena.
Right.
And this is conservative estimates based on consumption. No, we can't guarantee consumption, but we can guarantee the accuracy of the meters. And if you're getting an approximate 70% reading now, and it goes to a 99%, that's going to generate a substantial additional revenue.
140 commercial meters seems like a lot.
We don't have, my thing is, when we talk about commercial, we talk about businesses, right?
Correct.
We don't have that many businesses here.
No, but we've got, he's just classifying meter size.
Well,
Right, but then there, I
So
think
like,
the,
I have a 2-inch meter at my house
right,
that I put in. And I'm one of those 2-inch ones that you see on there.
Okay. And that, I don't know, I could not give you an address, although we've got folks that pinpoint it because they came in. And with
Right,
person,
that's what I'm saying.
they've gotten very accurate. When they looked at every single one of them, they mapped it out. But now, I don't have that information, so I could.
Okay, and I do have one question. It's okay, expectation here is for Bronson to grow. It's exceptionally growth from what we're possibly seeing, especially with these subdivisions and everything else that we're addressing right now. How is that going to impact this? It can't be nothing but positive.
And that's all I can. What we're looking at is replacing the commercial meters that we've got on our list. I mean, if others come in, I mean, I can see it.
But I mean, what I'm addressing that too, I mean, with the expectation of growth from just normal growth, houses, whatever, commercial growth should also.
It should.
And also,
If these meters start using more water because they're serving more people as a business, then your revenue is going to grow. Your cost won't, but your revenue will.
Right, and we did, like I said, in the company, they did test, not just commercial, but residential. And the AMI is set up so it will be in place for the commercial, but it is also understood that it'll pick up
right,
residential.
and I understand that we're only talking about the meters that we have in place right now. The future are our responsibility.
But even though, as Ray was saying, as companies, as growth occurs, and companies use more water to produce or to do what they're doing, then your revenue, in fact, will. Like I said, we're making it conservative purposefully, because we needed to show you something as a town, because your concern is the town.
I mean, it's just like right now, the expectation for our school systems are to continue to grow. I think, Sherry,
I'm a retired school superintendent, Ray's a retired school
I
superintendent.
know
We
for a
understand.
fact that our jails are not going to decrease in sizes, okay? Everywhere else we've seen is going up and up and up, so that expectation is to continue to rise.
And I'm gonna say this, and mean it. I would love for this to be a success all the way around, and to the point where some additional revenues are generated, and Sue calls me and says, Nick, let's look at some of this other stuff now, and we'll come back and look at some possibilities of some other things, because this has turned out to be a positive experience for the community.
But an example of how that growth could be impacted, you have school buildings currently. If you put an additional 100 kids in the building, not having to build a new building, but inside an existing building with the existing infrastructure, that building's going to use more
Oh,
water.
absolutely.
They're going to flush the toilet more. They're going to be pouring more water in the lunchroom. It's just going to increase the consumption, and that consumption is just directly to your bottom line.
Any other questions?
Yeah, the grant, all right, go ahead.
How many commercials do we have? Commercial,
127?
127 3/4 inch, it's in one of the sheets that I read out.
Page 5.
Yeah, there are 127 3/4 inch, 6 1 inch, 1 1.5 inch, 28.
no, you don't have to say that, but all of them are commercial. I don't have more paper, but how much is it gonna cost the town?
687,000.
680, well, 600, yeah, 10 of that is for the software, it's 686,000 total.
And I might mention to y'all, that also includes the 95,000. 95,000 of that is the meter testing that we did of both your commercial and your residential meters to establish the baseline. So a good bit of that, actually this project's like 580, and then 95,000 of it is the testing we did for it.
So the meters that we have, they haven't been tested yet?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. A sample, we not test all 140. We did a random sampling, and I don't.
How many did you test? Just,
We stayed out of the third party came in.
well, you should know this, because you know questions when you come to a meeting. You should know.
I don't know how many.
Curtis knows how many we
That's what I'm
changed
saying.
out.
You know what?
75 or 80 meters we changed.
Yeah, I mean,
what happened, they found out that, testing, taking the meters, taking them out, testing them, it became more cumbersome in time frame. So they didn't do all of them. They did, I think maybe 150, I have it written down somewhere. All the meters wasn't tested.
And please understand, there was another person in charge of running this when that was done. Dick and I are coming in kind of on the back.
So how bad was it, how much was?
So they were approximately reading at 75% accuracy.
Okay, and the commercials, the ones in town, did you test those?
Let me tell you this.
These have just.
The commercial meters wasn't that far off.
And see, that's what it'll take, because most of those commercials are new. Now, if you were doing the residential, that would be a different story. But most of those commercial meters are new, and they're not off like that.
Calculations
So
that you've been provided of increased revenue, a portion of that is for accuracy, a portion of it is for the increases that you've passed based on that accuracy. It is not a huge number based on that, but those numbers are accurate to the degree of accuracy of the meters we tested. So we say it's 75%, that's overall. But the commercial meters may have been at 80% or whatever, but still you're going to have some pickup.
but that's all you're doing is the commercial. And you say if the school add another 100 kids and you're gonna be flushing or using more. Quite naturally, even with the old meters, if they add 100 kids, you still gonna use more and add more. So that's why I was just trying to see.
And that's great questions. Thank you.
Logic in
Great.
all of it. To spend that much money, which I know the town don't have, but do we have that?
And that's why it was important to do a self-funding project and be able to show the increased revenue would cover. Otherwise, like I said, we had other things we could have that if they weren't going to fund themselves, then we knew it was not something we could address at this time.
All right, any other questions?
So is the system gonna work with the ones that are replacing with the grants? I thought those were AMR.
They're AMR currently, so we're gonna have to go back. I mean, this is our hope, is once these are done, because obviously the commercial ones are gonna get done far faster than the residential ones. So once that's done, Midtower or Red Fox or whoever goes back to the state and says, okay, well, we've actually got the AMI for the commercial side, we want to now change the residential to be AMI also. So we're trying to do a change order on the grant. But we figured this can only help us if we've already got the.
And that was actually a conversation with Fox and Midtower.
Right.
And I actually went and sat down with them and kind of explained to them what we were trying to do and what we wanted to do and what Sue and them were looking at as far as AMI. And his words were, well, if they do the commercial with AMI, then it'll be so much easier for us to write it up and get a change order. So that's part of the process we've been discussing. But again, that will be through the town and them, but they're aware.
If that takes a while to come to fruition, though, and you have to do an AMR installation, you're still going to be in a position to read those AMR meters by drive-by, because we're including that AMR device in what we're providing.
Worst case scenario, that's obviously not the plan, but
Do we get a grant for that, sir?
for the residential ones, yes,
Residential, but not, how are we gonna pay for the commercial?
with this.
Self-funded.
Right, with this program.
It's self-funded. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to table it. You said we want to table this till the next meeting until you get your resolution. Okay. Do you need a motion for that?
I make a motion that we table this discussion until the next meeting when we have the resolution.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. So we table this to the next meeting. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. And opposed, same, motion carries. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, in your packet, the very first thing is the resolution number 2326, but before I go there, I want to kind of explain where we're at with the baby blocks. So first and foremost, I did go to the baby blocks blessing at the city of Newbury on Thursday evening. It was a lovely presentation. There was probably 30 or 40 people there. The city manager spoke, the mayor spoke, the fire chief spoke, and the owner of Safe Haven Baby Blocks also spoke. So she gave a background as to exactly how this whole thing started. Again, she explained that it was her father went to jail for raping her mother. It was a terrible story, but she was dropped as an infant. That's really why she came up with this idea. This is the Newbury was box 185 in the U.S. They've saved 170 babies in the last 6 years. So Newbury obviously did theirs through fundraising. I did talk to Monica, and I talked to the mayor and the fire chief about what we were trying to do with Bronson, and was able to get Monica to send us this lease contract that's in your packet. It is, I've read it, I don't know if Attorney Warren had a chance to read it yet, but it pretty much mirrors exactly the city of Newbury's lease and service agreement that was in your packet last time. So I put in your summary the exact same thing. So it's a 5-year term. The initial fee is either $11,000 or $12,000 with the camera option, depending on if you want to do the camera. The annual fee is $300 for pre-certification, and there's a $300 annual fee for alarm monitoring. Again, the fire department would provide 24-hour alarm monitoring. We have to list them as an additional insured on our general liability insurance policy, and then, again, the fire department has to do daily and weekly testing. I did explain to her that the council was hesitant to do an ordinance. She understood. She said that's exactly what happened in Newbury and in Ocala. So she understood that you guys were hesitant and you wanted to go with the lease and service agreement. But I think we're pretty much, at this point, I think we've had all of our questions answered, and I think we're pretty much good to go. Oh, and then Chief Vogel from Newbury sent us the invoice today on how much it cost them to actually install it by putting the hole in the fire station, and it was $8,426. So all in, we're looking at somewhere in the $21,000 to $22,000 range, which is what they wrote on their website. So with everything, the purchasing the box, installing the box, the monitoring, and then they would do the exact same thing as they did in Newbury. They would come here, they would do a baby box blessing ceremony where people would get up and speak and have questions answered, and press is there, and all that sort of thing. So in your packet is resolution number 23-26, authorizing the execution of a contract regarding the installation and maintenance of a baby box.
The question came up that I look at the agreement. I did look at the agreement, and assuming you want to go forward with what the proposal is, the agreement describes it quite accurately. There's no glitches in it.
You don't have anything to add?
Okay.
You have anything to add?
No.
Okay.
All right. Pleasure of the council.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
What is the fire department's, they probably know, but just for my own interpretation. Does the fire department have a position on this? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah,
You're okay?
yes, we are.
I mean, the reason I ask is because the facility is there, and
Right, it was also put into the state appropriation.
Yeah, okay, all right. Didn't mean to interfere, sorry.
Make a motion to accept resolution 23-26.
The resolution or the,
Well,
The
resolution
resolution is accepting the agreement.
is accepting the agreement, correct.
we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
All right, baby box is done. All right, last up on my agenda is the community movie nights in the park. So, interestingly enough, my newfound family that I went to for Thanksgiving this year, my cousin who I just met for the first time, he's a photographer. And after everybody ate at Thanksgiving, he put out this gigantic 20-foot screen that's inflatable and you put it's got Velcro all along it, there's a picture of it in your packet, that you kind of put this white screen in the middle of it, and then you can have a projector put your movie up. So he sent me all the information on it, the projector stand. I talked to Rod and asked if he could do the audio for it. So all in, if we do the movie, do all of the setup, everything that we've got, we can purchase on Amazon, we'd be looking at about $850 for the one movie. Obviously, it would be less if we want to commit to doing multiple movies next summer. They'd give us that, better price to do the 3 movies. But I think this is a good way to go because it's nice and big. It's huge. So I
Well,
just
we're gonna
think,
try to do the one in December if we do this.
yep, you're just gonna tell me what day you want to have it? Because I think they needed 2 weeks' notice at the movie place, as I recall. You want to do it on Friday night? You trying to do it Friday night?
Well, I was just,
Pick that.
they asked for a date, so I just looked at a date when I knew we didn't have anything going on at the school. And so the 15th was that date. And so, like I said, in order to ask for the quote, you have to pick a day. So I just picked that Friday because I know we didn't have any games or anything going on that day.
When are kids out of school?
The kids don't get out of school until the 20th.
20th?
It's that Wednesday.
15th won't work, they need 2 weeks.
Do we want to do it during the week, or does it have to be a weekend, or does it matter?
Like 23rd. Well, I can't do the 23rd. Well, I can't. It doesn't mean you can't do it. I'm supposed to get married on the 23rd.
21st? That's Thursday? The kids will be out of school? We're still working at that point?
Kids are out of school between holidays.
I mean, is the goal to have the kids out of school or not out of school? Because
They would have to be out of school
You want
based
to be
on
out
the
of
2 weeks
Right.
because, I mean.
Yeah, but do you have to do it, you could, I mean, I know it's a Christmas movie, but you don't necessarily have to do it the week, like, before Christmas. You could do it between Christmas and New Year.
That's what I'm saying.
And they just show whatever they do.
Then, I mean, you can do a Christmas type theme, like a winter type theme movie. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
We could take this thing and put it out here in the book, flash on there, you're speeding.
Oh, yeah, that thing's huge.
They could see
Get on and do that.
Hey, warn us first.
What about the 21st? The 20th?
I like the 21st. I mean,
The 20th, the church is probably without like that.
And we already got snack.
Do we have a game on the 21st?
Also,
No.
the Baptist church is having their, I forgot to bring that thing with me.
the winter thing they would do is always on a Saturday?
It's their first night, and it's like.
On Saturday.
It's like every Saturday until Christmas or something.
So if we do the Thursday, then we don't conflict with that. If we do the 21st.
And then the kids are gonna be excited because they just got out of school too, so. The parents won't be.
If y'all do it the 21st, y'all need staff or some people that put in to be off. Going into the holidays.
On the 21st, or they'll already be on?
There's some people that put in to be off.
On that day?
Yeah. I'm one of them.
I'm one of them. He meant I.
Well, Ron's in that position, so,
Yeah, Rod, you're the newbie, so can you work that day?
no, but he.
I may be new, but I will be here. But I don't put you got to.
Don't know what they have.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you be willing to work.
Right, that's the question.
So I'm new, but I'm well experienced, knowledge, educated. So I don't do
I mean, the setup really isn't that hard. I mean,
Look at that, I will,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Listen, I'm
She can probably have that thing by.
a believer, bro. I'm seeing
21st is fine with me.
They're gonna deliver something to my house Sunday.
Because I just said, like, we have another meeting on the 18th, so if there's something else that we need to make sure
That
we
gives us
go
time
through it,
to
gives us another
gives us time to get
time.
with the churches and see if they want to do like hot chocolate booths or something.
Yes, yeah, I'll give you a note.
You
I'll
give
send
me a
you
note
a
on my,
note. She's on that over.
I should give me that night off.
See if some churches want to do hot chocolate stuff.
Church.
Yeah, I had a couple of organizations at the school that were just waiting on me to have a confirmation of a date to see if they want to participate.
Yeah, SGA, somebody was something.
So we're just asking for popcorn, hot chocolate, that's it?
That sounds great.
I mean, we let them decide what they want to, I was gonna say, we let them decide if they want to participate, what they want.
Okay.
So, and just keep a list so then that way everybody will have the same thing.
So what time?
Have to be after dark, so after 6.
I would do 6 I would actually do.
The movie start.
6:30 and 7.
Yeah, say the movie starts at 7, probably 7.
So,
Most movies are probably, what, 2 hours?
such a need?
Huh?
Such a need?
Well, I think you're gonna have more issues if the parents are working and they're not getting home.
That's what I'm saying, they don't get home till 6.
Okay.
Everyone
They
wants-
got somebody that's keeping kids out of school.
Now, you and I both know those kids are gonna be running
They
wild.
sending them kids with their grandma out here to sit on the
7 o'clock on the 21st.
So
7
the
o'clock.
last time we did one, it started running and getting late. And I think we started, like I said, we started getting late and a lot of them started leaving because it was cold and it was late.
Don't call that over. It's gonna be, Florida December. Let's not be cold.
Okay, so December,
What movie?
December 21st and 7th.
Yeah, sure. What movie?
Yeah, we need to move it.
Give them a short movie.
We're doing a
What
picture.
movie do you want to do?
I don't know how.
What was that new one from 2018? What was it? Elf? I know, I don't.
The new Elf?
The new Elf?
Yeah, do the
With
classics.
Will Ferrell?
Sure.
The old
Oh,
one?
okay.
I don't know if that would go over real well with some of the people.
Yeah.
This is funny.
Oh my God.
You want to do the, what do you want to take?
We just look at what
Virginia.
cause she sent us a list, they sent us a list, right?
She
We
did.
can play Medea's
It was the
Christmas.
Grinch, it was the,
Oh, that'll go over real well.
Medea's
I
Christmas.
mean, I guarantee you I'll be there for Medea.
the Polar Express was one of them. And that's,
Express.
they've done the Polar Express and the Grinch before.
Polar Express is always a good movie to play at Christmas.
Yeah, that's one of the movies that they offer. You hate
And
it?
so it's a Grinch.
Those such a stupid
Oh
movie.
my gosh. Polar Express. We
There's a
need
new
it.
Polish girl.
I don't know. I never made it through either one of them, so.
So,
Oh, I love the Grinch.
when will you have all the equipment?
I'll probably order it tomorrow.
Okay, because I want to make sure, because I know a lot of times these devices have certain adapters. So I just want to make sure. I got tons of them, but I just want to make sure so we don't get out there.
Yeah, I'll
It's
get
like,
them. I'll order
What
them.
about Home
don't
Alone?
work.
Oh, Home Alone would be great. That would be a great movie.
These kids ain't seen that?
I've never
Yes,
seen
that
it.
would be a
I've never
great,
seen
that would be a
it.
great movie.
We could do, what's one of them, you know? Remember the Fraggles back when we were We could do Fraggle Rock Christmas.
God.
Pick 5, put the name in a hat and draw it out. That's the movie.
It's over in May.
All right,
So we're gonna
then we need a motion on this.
What do we want to do, the 3 movies or the 1 movie?
Give me 3. How about that? Give me 3.
I'm talking about the.
Oh, no, for this, are we
Oh,
good?
doing 3 movies? Or
Do we
doing
want to pay
4?
get the cheaper price and just commit to 3 movies?
That's what I
If
would
we're
do.
buying stuff, but not as well.
You wanna do 3?
Yeah, sure.
It's
Give me a motion.
Then we can set it up for something.
Make a
It'd be
motion
cool
to,
follow the series.
what am I making a motion for?
And then some-
Community movie night.
Community movie night, accept the price of
Oh,
the
no.
commission, committed to 3 movies. Sounds good enough to me.
All right. Do it here.
Second.
Proper move for second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Those in motion carries.
Thank y'all.
Curtis, come up here and talk to us.
I think that's more probably suit, but I'll do my best. I think you got two prices in your packets. I think one was $1,700. That's one of the companies that came get inspection. And that $1,700, they'll give us the chemicals to do it. And then I think there's one in there where they would come and repair the roof, treat the mold. I think it's like $5,000 to $6,000. I don't think we should do it because we know that there's mold there. None of us are certified to make sure it's gone. You still would have to have somebody come back in again and test. So when they did do the test, they found out that the air, actually right now, inside is better than the air outside. But you can see the pictures that we do have this mold in the roof. Around the vent. And I don't think that's something new. I think that's over a period of time that when the roof was leaking before, and the condensation in a period of time has gone by, that's what we have now.
Do we know if there's anybody in the county has the ability to do this? Do they have anybody certified in
So the way this kind of came to be, when we did the last Beautify Bronson Day back in May, April, I can't remember when it was. Anyway, and we, May, and we were cleaning the library, we noticed it then. Dennis was working for the county at that time, and he said he was going to try and get his people to do it. But then, obviously, when we went and did the last Beautify Bronson Day in October, it hadn't been done, and I said to Curtis, I said, listen, we just, we gotta get, I mean, the people sit directly underneath that. I mean, literally, when you walk into the library, it's the, I mean, you know, you were there, it's the one right there. So I just don't wanna leave it any longer, I just don't think it.
Well, it definitely needs to be addressed. I'm just saying, you know, to see about to rip the roof out, that's a given, you gotta get rid of that. Then you spray it.
And that's the company that was gave a price of $5,000 to $6,000. That's what they would do. Come in, take that out, treat whatever's there.
I doubt the county's got anybody certified
I just
more.
I do know that they had a problem over at the old school.
Bronson is old.
Because, yes, I mean, if they did have to go in there and do some stuff, I don't know.
And this is the thing that we need to be aware of. The company, they wouldn't even come to do anything until we had it tested. You know, so if we do fix it, or say that we contract somebody else to fix it, are they going to say that it's mold-free? Or are we going to have it retested again? Because the thing is, you don't want nobody 6 months from now, a year from now, to come back and say they're sick because they was in the library because of the mold. And the only thing we have to say is that we repaired it, but did we test it? Did we do this? Did we do everything that we needed to do to make sure that we're covered? You know.
It looks better if you're an outside party that's not county and not city come in to do it. And
Name
like
that recognizes for mold.
But not only that, then you have a contract with someone that says when they sign off and so we pay them, they say that it's free. It's mold-free. There's no issue.
With the county?
No, you know, that too, just check with them tomorrow while you're there and just see if they did have somebody. Also, we call Florida League Cities on our insurance.
Okay.
See if they'll pay it.
You mean on a claim?
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely not.
Hey, it's right.
For mold?
Yes, ma'am. I'm living proof of that.
It's never covered under residential. I mean, it might be under commercial, but never.
Eventually did.
how'd you manage?
Yeah, how'd you manage that?
All you're seeing, don't you see these signs up down here at the crossroads? Mold,
Yeah.
everything that you're seeing, all that is going towards Cedar Key where they had all that water in down there. Every bit of that homeowner's coverage is covered with that.
Well, if
Did
it's
they
as a
drop them
result
afterwards?
of, if it's as a result of like flooding, where the flooding is covered and now it's mold, then yes,
I had a pipe burst in my house,
right?
and it created a mold situation.
Okay.
Very small for them. I had to have it ripped out, had to have it done. Insurance paid for it. The situation right there is we got a leak from the roof. Hey, first of all,
Yeah, good try.
not paid
cancel people now, so I don't know if I.
Hey, they canceled mine, but I got some more. Like I'm fixing to do AT&T, I'm fixing to get rid of them too.
I do believe that if the mold is caused by a condition that's insured, then the insurance company
They will
has
take
to
care of
pay
it.
for.
They didn't think they were gonna do mine, but they did after that
I
attorney
think that's
called.
correct.
But now, are we looking at the period of time that we have records that somebody can say, "I'm gonna sign off that this happened and doing this
Well,
storm"?
and then you have to weigh it off, you have to weigh the option.
I
Option
understand.
is it worth
Losing insurance.
the insurance debt to do whatever the claim and all that stuff, because that factors in also. So, you know, it's worth a phone call.
So you want us to hold off until after I've talked to them? Yes?
I would definitely do that. Yep.
We just want to bring it to your attention because
But we can go ahead, but there's no reason for us not to.
We can approve it, and then we don't have to do it.
Based on what our findings are, because, I mean, irregardless, it's still got to be done.
I agree with you. Absolutely. I do not
It's got
think
to
we
be
should.
done, whether they, and I agree with the fact that we need to have a third party to do it.
Okay.
Now, whether the insurance company will pay for it or not, I don't know. In this case, they may not.
Is there a ballpark estimate? So they'll be able to give us something, it says between 4,000 and 6,000, that's just gonna depend on what they.
But they
time when
find once
do it.
they get into it.
So at the low end, 4,000, at the most it'd be 6.
Right, because this, what they looking at, that once they cut it out and they get up there, if the moisture has traveled in, you know,
Right.
then it could be more than just that section, it could be a lot more.
Thank you, Curtis.
So do you want to make a motion
Yeah, accept it.
to accept it and I'll try and see if I can get somebody else to cover it? Okay.
Make a motion to accept the quote for the mold remediation in the library.
All right, I have a motion,
I second.
and we have a second. All those in favor? Any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same, motion carried. Gail?
First thing I talked to Lonnie Terry today about the truck. He says he hasn't been able to get to it yet because he's had other vehicles in line first. He's hoping this week or beginning of next week. So we should get that done, hopefully soon. Other than that, for the month of November, we had 127 incidents total, which averaged 4.2 in 24 hours, every 24-hour period. Some days there were none, and some days we had 8 or 9 calls for the whole day, most of them during the daytime. We're up to 1,000, well, as of the end of November, there's 1,312 calls. We're a little bit over that now. We had 3 calls for building fires, 2 were mutual aid, and 1 was last week, down 103 Terrace. We had a camper, individuals were staying in a travel trailer, and that had an explosion from buildup of propane. So the lady that was there, she got burned bad, in the hospital, and there was another individual who was not injured.
What was the propane for?
For the show.
They were cooking.
Two, yeah, they had 2 20-pound cylinders. And there was a furnace, a water heater, and a stove. The furnace and water heater were not connected. They weren't utilized. So it was all part of the stove, but there had been a buildup somewhere that just, for one reason or another, finally went. They had been going through, apparently they've been going through propane for the past few weeks quite a bit. So it was leaking. It just hadn't built up right in the area like it had weeks ago. Over 64% of our calls were medical, first aid, 81 of those, and then from vehicle accidents, we had 8 of them. So a number of assist individuals. We have we kind of get a number of lift assist, helping people up that have fallen.
And you rescued me in the parking lot a little bit, because they came.
questions or anything for Jeff? Thank you, sir. Mr. Warren, you got anything?
Nothing, no.
All right. Kurt, we got anything that we need to discuss?
No, with the inmate work crew right now, but
Yeah, I know you've been busy with it, at the city government, and I want to say that I appreciate your effort. Everything is continuing to run smoothly, and that's still a good benefit for us, so I appreciate the extra efforts here. Miss Virginia?
Pothole looks fantastic. So nice. And the signs look so nice. I don't know how y'all missed the one on the corner of School Street and Glover Street. Did you replace that one? Cause it look like it's the same one. And it's like, it's faded out.
School Street and Glover, I'll have them check it.
It's
Right there at Dogan?
right there at your church. It's like faded, but all the ones that y'all did look so nice.
That might be the only ones that were ordered, but I'll check.
And the road looks really nice, the pothole. I'm sure somebody's gonna go over it 90 miles per hour, but or with a dirt bike, you know.
All right, Mr. Tyler?
Nothing for the fire department I can think of. They, me and Sue got a meeting with John Meeks and I guess not Will Verdeen anymore about animal control tomorrow after the county commissioners meeting. Hopefully we can.
You said not overdue anymore.
Yeah.
I invited him, he declined.
Yeah. And, so hopefully that, yeah.
It is so faded.
Never mind. I'm not going.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's tomorrow. We're gonna try to get that wrapped up, hopefully.
What time is the meeting tomorrow?
The county commissioners meeting starts at 9.
Okay.
We'll probably get over about 5.
Yeah, we'll be there all day.
If you guys need lunch, call, I'll be at the office, I can drop it off for you.
You want a canteen
So
truck to come out to you tomorrow?
I called
Mr. Curtis.
Hudson Foods, waiting for them to call me back about the, or waiting for her to email me the stuff about the spirit pump thing.
Oh, they responded to you?
No. She picked up the phone.
Did they respond to the email
I
that you
sent
sent?
an email, but they never responded.
She picked up the phone, I called her.
What was this now? Stone's White. What was this?
The spirit pumps that they do at like the other gas stations they got in Chiefland and Newberry, they got like a pump, if you get however much at the end of the month, they donate the proceeds from that pump or something to the school.
I sent it to Stony and whoever runs Hudson Food Stores.
Mike's in charge of it.
Yeah, we want the spirit pump over there.
Yeah.
I'll try to get back into this again.
Oh, I do need to say something. Me nor anybody up here will ever send out an email asking for money. Just to let y'all know that.
Oh, I get them from them fake emails saying their name all the time.
I get them.
I mean, not no, it.
Oh, we get them, I still get them from the
I'd
like to go online. I do not accept.
Station.
I prefer cash. Live to hear that.
She answered the phone.
I told her about it. I asked her about it, said they could get one new.
Yeah.
Bronson company, that would be nice. And she said, yeah, let me email you the stuff about it, and then I have got that email. So,
How long ago was that?
the week, it was right after our last meeting.
I don't know. I have to let the parents know that they're not willing to contribute. So we got 2 other gas stations in Bronson, you know.
All right.
Cause he didn't buy a banner either.
Thank you. Sure.
Nothing. For the December 21st thing, as soon as we have it confirmed and we know what the movie is, let me know, and then I can send the email blast out to the school, and then I'll send it again on the last day so that we get that. And tomorrow I'll start letting our clubs and all of our sponsors know that it's that day and see what they want to do. I know we want to do something from athletics. So.
What other movies She wrote down Polar Express.
What about home? Doesn't
And
home
then-
have with the little purple
That Home
alien?
Alone.
We do.
Isn't
One of
that
the
Christmas?
movies you wanted right now, she could just draw one out of a hat.
They have the Polar Express, they offer that one too. I mean, I
I
don't know.
like
if
that, I don't.
I don't know, like I said, I never watched the whole thing.
You don't know anything. It's about a train.
Are you gonna do anything leading up to it?
Read the third one.
What's that?
Are you gonna do anything leading up to the movie night? It's gonna start at 6:30, 7:30 or whatever, what about the hour and a half or whatever before that? You know, while people coming in or whatever,
You want
What
to?
do we do before? Seem like we had-
You want dance?
just being in the entertainment field and doing stuff like that, dead air is kind of bad stuff when, you know, when you got something going on before things happen.
We could have
So
karaoke.
even if it's, because what I was thinking was, in my mind, when you first mentioned it, I was gonna already put something together where there was already music or something playing, so that there is no dead air when people coming up, because dead air is just not good.
You the man with the plan. Whatever you and Sue decide is good for us.
Put something together, Ron.
Okay. 10-4?
All right.
So if we're asking people to volunteer, donate, whatever, to it, how many people should we ask for? Like if they were gonna serve hot chocolate, how many people would you?
However many people they want to bring.
Can you let me see, can you let me see if I can get some of the school organizations to do that? And then if that doesn't work, then we'll go outside there.
All right.
I can coordinate that.
Sherry, did Frank look at anything, you know, anything going on in the cemetery?
I talked to him this morning and we was on some other stuff, so, he didn't say anything about the cemetery, but I will make sure he knows about the library.
We still
About what's up with the roof.
concerned about the light on 24, which I think Public Works is working on that from Duke.
We're just waiting.
Takes
Still waiting 2 weeks.
It takes 2 weeks. I talked to him last week.
Yeah, so
We get it all.
it'll be a Christmas present.
It's in the works.
And the other areas where the, like that light on the corner of the school board road, that light is back on, so they did fix it. And then the light at the end of Glover Street is back on because it was off duty. So those, you can't see at those spots now.
And the light at his road flashes. Like it's on some nights and some nights it's not on.
Yeah, we have this in town here, do occasional lights.
Oh, are we putting up Christmas lights in town?
We are. We're doing something a little different.
We say humbug.
We're not doing it.
So we have a lot of lights that are burnt out.
Yeah.
We were talking about having volunteers come and replace the bulbs, but Curtis had this idea to just buy a bunch of like string lights, and we're gonna string the lights within the actual ornament things that.
We'll take the old lights off and put the new lights on.
Okay.
Those lights that's with the owners now, they have fuses in them, and time you get up and you plug them in, it just pops the fuse.
Yeah.
So we need something that don't have a fuse in it, so they order some lights. So as soon as they come in, we'll put them on and get them up.
They're coming in Wednesday.
All right.
In
Anything else?
Are we gonna have Santa at the Christmas in the park?
Well, it was the fire chief the last couple of times.
Oh, kill him.
I beg it, ain't that bad.
If staff gonna be there, it's gonna be time and a half. Pam, Rodney said he has people that will work. Maybe cheaper than paying the four of us. Time and a half.
All right, well, I'll let Sue.
We'll let her,
Yeah, Sue's on
So
there.
we're about it, right?
Authorize,
yeah.
we authorize Sue to do whatever she wants.
It's so nice of you.
All right, anything else? I'll entertain a motion to pay bills.
I second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried.